Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco 2. Today we have got two games coming up for you and they are both huge games. The first one against West Ham is a bit of a build-up. West Ham not too far behind us. I mean, they're quite far behind us in terms of points, but they're not too far behind us in the league, so they are a decent side. And then after that, we have got Arsenal, which is massive. We're competing with them for a Europa League space, so we need to get a positive result against them. Now, since you were last here, to be fair, we have done almost everything possible to keep up the chase for the top 7 and things like that. And actually, we have moved into the top 7, but that's kind of because Aston Villa have barely played any games. But we'll talk you through what's happened since you were last here after the 2 draws against Newcastle and Liverpool, which were really frustrating. That sort of held us back a little bit. First of all, we had Sunderland in the FA Cup. Sunderland, who are in the Championship. We lost them in penalties. We couldn't get past them in a normal game setting, and it went all the way to penalties because apparently there's no replays in the FA Cup 5th round and things like that. So we went all the way to penalties, and we lost to them in the shootout. With Bizu, of course, missing his penalty. You hate to see it, but he did. And obviously, it cost us. Cost us quite dearly. So you hate to see it, but it's one of those things, unfortunately. We want to win the FA Cup, obviously, because that gets us a spot in the Europa League. And if we don't win those kind of competitions, we won't get the spot. And then, obviously, it depends on who wins the FA Cup for the Europa League spots in the league, which is now what we're trying to qualify for. It's really messes up a little bit, so we've got to work extra hard now to really work and qualify for the Europa League via the league. But we have done a good job of that. We had 2 wins in a succession. West Brom, first of all, with Andreas scoring a goal in the 28th minute, and then a 1-0 win over Swansea, with Bizu getting a goal in that game in the 79th minute. His 4th goal of the season. Don't worry, he's not scoring any more than that after that. We then took on Tottenham, who are above us in the table. They're a decent side. Chiesa got an injury in that game, and they scored just before half-time, and that was the only goal of the game. So Tottenham, the better side than us in more ways than one. They managed to come away with the 1-0 win there, unfortunately. But we did then hammer Stoke 4-0 in the game after, with Luis Gustavo picking up a hat-trick and Pomeroy getting a goal as well in that game. So that was a bit of a redeeming factor there, but we couldn't really do much about the loss of Tottenham. What it means for the league table is that we go up to 7th temporarily, but Aston Villa have got 2 games in hand on us at the moment, and they are 3 points behind us, so that's not brilliant. As you can see, Man City and Arsenal still both in excellent form, and actually so are Manchester United and Tottenham, who are kind of also chasing down a little bit. But as you can see, games being played all over the place at the moment. We'll go up to 32 after this, whereas everyone else will be on 30 or 31, or in Aston Villa's case, 29 still. So it's not the best position for us. But these teams all still have European football to play, whereas we don't, obviously. So hopefully, as we tire towards the end of the season, these teams will really get tired and start to lose some games, whereas we'll still be a bit fresher and win a few games. That's kind of what I'm really hoping and banking on today. Either way, West Ham coming up first, and we're sticking with the usual formation. Solanke stays in goal with Jimenez, Juliano, Brullinger and Mirza on the back line, with Venturelli just ahead of them, Andres and Agli back in the side. Agli's come back from an injury, as has Luis Gustavo. He's coming back. Not Luis Gustavo, so Luis Gustavo's in there anyway. Chiesa is the one coming back from an injury. Perhaps not 100% ready for today's game, but I think we're going to play him today because he's a phenomenal player. I think if you look at the average ratings, only Brullinger has played better than him this season in terms of average ratings. So Chiesa really is. You can't underestimate how good he is. And then, of course, Marquez is going to be starting up front for us. He's not actually scored any more goals recently. Pomeroy's got more goals in him this season, but I do like Marquez, and I feel like he deserves a chance today to start and shows what he's got. Right then, kickoff is upon us, and welcome to a new week of Football Manager content. Monday. No one likes a Monday, do they? But we like a Monday when we win both our games, and hopefully that is what we're going to be doing today. I do just want to say a very quick thank you to everyone who's bought the FM20 through my affiliate link so far. Really appreciate it, because of course I get a bit of commission from it, so that does help me out and the channel out and things like that. So I really do appreciate everyone who's bought it through that link. Still available down there in the description, the link to get the game from 2Game, who I've teamed up with. You can get it for cheap. Use promo code TomFM in the checkout for an extra 10% off. Overall, it takes the game to less than £30, which is a good deal, and you get emailed a Steam code, redeem it on Steam. All done and dusted like that. So if you want to check that out, it's down there. Also, if you like history books, if you like history, I've been reading this over the weekend. Let me get it up close and personal. Dan Jones's book on the Crusades. I love the Crusades. It's my favourite part of history. And Dan Jones is also a very, very good author. So I recommend that. That came out over the other day. I had that pre-ordered. So that's the only book I've ever pre-ordered. And it's a history book. What a nerd. But Actually, if you want to read that as well, there'll be a link in the description as well. If you want to check that out as well, to Amazon. That's where I get all my books from. It is the cheapest place, I reckon. Anyway, I'll stop selling your stuff now. That's probably quite bad. I shouldn't be doing that, really. We're talking about football, and we've got to half-time with no highlights so far in this West Ham game. So we're going to go aggressive. Not happy with your performance out there. We need to win, basically. We need to keep winning, to keep in contact with these teams. The moment we start losing games, that's when it all starts to go downhill for us. Now, interestingly, last season we came 8th, and we finished on 61 points. This season, as you can see, if you want to get into the top 7, we're going to need a lot more than 61 points this season. We're going to need an awful lot of points. So I think we may be looking more towards the 70-point mark, to be fair, this season, if we want to be getting into the top 7. And of course, that then relies on the winner of the FA Cup. Tottenham have won the Carabao Cup, so they get that Europa League place. But as they finish in the top 4, that will go then to 6th place. And then whoever wins the FA Cup will get the Europa League place. So hopefully a team in the top 6 will win the FA Cup, and then whoever comes 7th, hopefully us, will get that missing the final Europa League place. Now, 20 minutes left in today's game, still not a goal in it. We've had a lot of the shots though. I think we're going to take Venturelli off the pitch for Michael Pomeroy and have 2 strikers playing up front instead, going attacking. We need the goals. Advance forward. Marquez complete forward on support. That might work a little bit better, maybe. Gustavo's not played excellently either, so we're going to bring Vinicius Jr. on for him, just to see if that makes a bit of a difference going forward in today's game. But we need to grab a goal, lads. Please don't let this be a waste of a game. We need to pick up some 3 points. We've only won games 1-0 apart from that Stoke game in between episodes, so I don't mind a 1-0 win. Please, someone score. Be a highlight at least. You can see top bar here, no highlights at all apart from the kickoffs. Finally a highlight, but it's for great save from Solinki. It was a West Ham free kick, and I thought that's going straight in the back of the net. He does clear the ball though, our defence, and actually it's not been won by Vinicius Jr. Can't get there, and it's West Ham coming on the attack once again. Are we going to see a goal in today's game? At the moment, it's looking like it's going to go to West Ham, though, unfortunately, as they look to put the ball into the mixer, which they have done, and it's been disallowed for offside. You love to see that. I did panic then. We need to go very attacking now, though. Very attacking with, a few minutes left in today's game? Come on, boys. This is not good enough. And yet, unfortunately, I think that's going to be that. I reckon this is just going to be the closing highlight of the game, as West Ham see the game out. And this has been a woeful game for us, really, as Jimenez gets the ball up towards Marquez, but doesn't quite reach its intended target in the end. We've got 20 seconds, but the ball goes out of play, and that's a throw-in, and that is surely going to be that. We're losing ground to the top 6. We have to rely on Aston Villa dropping massive amounts of points, because they've got 3 games in hand on us now, Aston Villa. And right now, and they're only 4 points behind us. The maths doesn't work out for us very well, does it? Particularly the run of form they're in as well. So we've got to hope that they keep losing games. Should probably update you on the FA Cup as well. Quite a few different teams could be winning it, actually. So we've got Liverpool, Arsenal, Derby and Tottenham in the Premier League. A few Championship clubs and Leicester as well. Also a Championship club, actually. So a big mix of teams still in it. At the moment, we want Liverpool, Arsenal or Tottenham to be winning it. Because if any of these teams win it who aren't in the Premier League, then really we are stuffed. We've got international break now though, which is quite frustrating because that's going to take a long time to get through, because they always do, which is frustrating. There's actually, oh no, you hate to see it. There's been some FA Cup games, but Sunderland have beaten Tottenham, which doesn't help us out at all. Leicester have beaten Notts County, but that's not, they're Championship clubs. So Leicester a Championship club? Yeah, Championship club Leicester. So that doesn't really help us out too much, but Tottenham losing is dreadful for us. But Liverpool, I missed all these games clearly. So Liverpool have gone through, Arsenal have gone through, Leicester have gone through, and Sunderland have gone through. So really it's down to Liverpool or Arsenal doing us some massive favours now. Hang on a second. 20 days? 20 days until our game against Arsenal? How long is this international break? Our next game literally isn't until the 4th of April. That is a long time to wait. How many games have Arsenal got in between then? None. They've got a long break as well. It just is a really long international break for some reason. Why is it saying 23 days now up there? It says 23 days. Right, because the Arsenal game's been rearranged because they're playing Leicester in the FA Cup. But Arsenal's still our next game, so that's 23 days to wait now. Oh my God. I might go on holiday. I might just go on holiday to simulate all of this because I really can't be asked to wait this long. But first of all, one of Aston Villa's games in hand is coming up, and they're playing Chelsea, who are top of the table. So hopefully Chelsea are going to do us a massive favour here. Oh, please beat Villa. That would be They beat Villa 1-0, which is good. So we're now 4 points clear of Villa, and Villa have got 2 games in hand. So the math is slightly more in our favour then. Who else have Villa got to play as well at some points along here? They've got United on the 4th, which is when we were meant to be playing Arsenal. I really can't be asked to just sit here and press spacebar though for age. That's what it is in international break. International break is so frustrating. It's just nothing happens. You just press spacebar, and especially when it's not in a transfer window either. Literally, I'm just going to go on holiday for this. We're going to go on holiday. Aston Villa are playing on the 4th, aren't they? We want to see what happens on the 4th. So we're going to come back from holiday on the 4th. I can't be asked to click through all this. It's so annoying when the international break comes around. And like a month, pretty much. Nearly a month with no games, which is actually quite good for our players to rest them. But when we get back, I am concerned that none of them will be match sharp. So actually, we might come off holiday quickly. In fact, I'm going to do this. We're going to come off holiday, return from holiday, and we're going to schedule a friendly because I don't want our players to just be not match fit for this Arsenal game. So we'll only schedule the one friendly. We will give them a bit of a break and time off, but we'll have one friendly here against, affiliated clubs. Western Sydney Wanderers. I forgot we're affiliated with them. Oh, they won't want to travel though. Okay. In that case, Celtic, that would be a good one to do. Does Celtic accept that? Let's just go forward. Do they accept it? They do accept it, which is quite good actually. So we'll have a friendly in there so our players don't lose their match sharpness. But I'm going to go back on holiday until the 4th because I just can't be asked to sit through all of this. And we're back now on the 4th. 2 weeks we were away, only 46 messages. And I can guarantee that none of them were important, and about 10 of them are probably about the friendly with Celtic. So it's just like, when the players want to play in the under-23s, international roundups, just under-23s, under-18s, international roundup, Celtic scouting, international roundup, more under-23 stuff, Premier League match money, international roundup, contract set to expire, but that's not really anything interesting. That's just staff and youth players. Apparently English clubs have released some other youth players that aren't going to be that good. They're not going to get into our first team. Although actually, we might actually have to sign some of these players because, thinking about it, they will all have 3 years playing in England, so they'll count as homegrown players. So actually, they could be quite useful to get to help with our quota. What I will do then is actually trial all of these players, offer a trial to all these players, just in case any of them actually could be good, and we can maybe get 1 or 2 in, and they can help out with our quota. After that then, there's more international roundups, important dates in April. Luis Gustavo wins Player of the Month, which is pretty good. Well done to Luis Gustavo for doing that. Backroom advice, financial, board confidence. We beat Celtic 3-1, so that's part of the news as well. And just sort of round up. Like we've missed nothing. This is the thing, we haven't missed anything in doing this. We'll make sure we put some players in here to get some match fitness into them. But we haven't missed anything by going on holiday over international break because really nothing happened in international break. Now we've come back on holiday on the 4th of April. I don't know why, I feel like I kept saying October. I don't know why I said October. In my head I had October, but it's April. That is weird. If I said October, I meant April. But we came back today because we wanted to see how Aston Villa gets on with United, but also Arsenal gets on in the FA Cup against Leicester and Liverpool against Sunderland. So hopefully these 2 teams win it because that's very, very good for us in our chances for Europa League football. United, hopefully they beat Villa. I hope they beat Villa. We're pressing continue quite a bit. Come on then. We've got I don't care about players coming in on trial right now. We just want to see how, if Villa lost, Arsenal won and Liverpool won. That's what we want to see. Again, more trials that I don't care about. Please just tell me the results of the fixtures, or I'm just going to have to keep more trials. This is just relentless now. Lads, I don't care about you coming on trial right now. You're not important. This is just ridiculous. Okay, we'll check these guys out sooner rather than later, but we need to see what's going on here. Right, please tell me the results of games. Please? At all? No? Oh, you love to see it. United have beaten Villa, which means that Villa are 4 points behind us, but they've only got 1 game in hand on us now, so they can't overtake us. So as long as we get better results than Villa now for the rest of the season, we will finish ahead of them. And right now we're in 7th, which is beautiful. And as long as we don't slip up, Villa don't overtake us, and as long as Arsenal or Liverpool win the Europa League, we're dead set for Europa League football next season. Yeah, you love to see it, right? All what's going to make the episode now is Arsenal win against Leicester, Liverpool win their cup game, and then we beat Arsenal. That would be the holy trinity of results. And this would be a superb episode. Despite drawing the game, what's happened in the other game? Oh, Leicester, why? Lads, come on. We hate to see that. You don't like to see that at all. And now, quite literally, our FA Cup hopes hang in the balance. If Liverpool don't win, then that means Sunderland will face Leicester in the final, and it means whoever wins that will get Europa League football, which will be one of these two sides, which means we won't get Europa League football for finishing 7th in the Premier League, which means I have to come 6th in the Premier League, which is a really difficult challenge. So Liverpool, please, lads. Liverpool, I'm really putting my faith in you. They've not let us down. 6-1 against Sunderland. So now we are all Liverpool fans. Liverpool, please win the FA Cup. And that really gives us... that's a big favour. You love it. In terms of these chaps that we brought in on trial, none of them look good, but we might sign one or two of them to help out with our quota for homegrown players. In fact, we might try and sign all of them just for that. That actually could be something we might do. We're going to move them to the under-23s for now, but actually I think we probably will offer them all contracts. And now we're coming up against Arsenal, which is a massive game. I mean, we don't need to win it. Well, actually, we do really, because then we've got 2 games up on West Ham, Aston Villa, sorry, and then they could actually overtake if they win both their games and hand on us. So actually, a result today is quite important. I think they were going to swap Pomeroy and Marquez over, but other than that, that's my first choice lineup, I think, in my opinion. So I feel like we can't really do much more than that. We're going to stick with this lineup, and hopefully this is going to be a lineup capable of beating Arsenal today. Right then, kickoff is upon us here today at the Emirates Stadium. So obviously it's even more difficult because we are away from home. But we've got to get the job done. And we can sort of take confidence from the fact that Arsenal lost to a championship side in the I mean, so did we. We also lost to a championship side in the FA Cup. But that was a place for the final they lost to theirs in. So they should be more motivated. So, I don't know. As long as we get a good result here today, as long as we don't lose, I will be happy. Corner for us as Fabian Chisa puts the ball into the area, but it's not really cleared very well, and it's collected by the goalkeeper at the second time of asking. And now Arsenal looking to build from the back with this goal kick, and defensive indecisions there have led to Steele getting through. Fortunately, Slinky was turned on or switched on. He could have been turned on. You don't know these things. He could have been turned on. He's only a dot on the screen. We couldn't see. We've not got the 3D engine on, so we couldn't see if he was. He was switched on though to the advancing Steele and made a very important save. If it was turned on, maybe he made that save with his dick. Anyway, just like the last game against West Ham, it's been a very uneventful first half. Nothing going on really. Actually, more highlights in this game than there were the West Ham game, but we've not conceded, which is good. We're still drawing, keeping a clean sheet. As things stand, we're 5 points clear of Aston Villa, which isn't good enough quite yet, but it's better than nothing, and it's better than 4 points as well, I suppose, in a way, isn't it? So it's working our favour in a way. We're still doing very good not losing games. We've only lost 2 games, and that was to Aston Villa, actually, and Tottenham. That's the last 2 games that we've lost this season. So we've done really well not losing games in the second half of the season. We've done incredibly well, actually, not losing games in the second half of the season. But as Arsenal look to come forward, this could be a game that we could lose, as Arsenal are looking strong, although we are pressing high. If we can just get a challenge in, if we can get the ball off them, this could be a good counter-attack for us. But the ball is through to the far post. It hits the post, and Mirza gets the clearance. And we are being outplayed here quite heavily, which does make me think we change formation. And I've got a formation that I want to change to. We've not used it all season because I've not really felt the need to, but I think this could be an opportunity for us to make the most out of it. I don't know if you're going to like it or not, But it's this. Oh, it's not that. Ignore that. It's not that. It's this. A 3-4-3 formation. This could be the answer. So Luis Gustavo's got to go there. Chisa's got to go there, although they don't like that at all. They're not fans of that. We'll make them wingers, though. That might be a little bit better. Winger, please, on attack. Oh, this is risky. Winger, please, on support. Agony doesn't really like doing what he's doing there. He can be more box-to-box on support. Venturelli has got to come off the pitch for Kamara. And then we've got to replace our strikers with Bizu and Franco Marquez. This could, I feel like this was a stupid idea, I think. Demand more as well. This could be a stupid idea because we are leaving ourselves exposed at the back, but we've got to get a goal. We've got to win it. They've put it wide of the post, which I thought was immediately going to backfire. I thought they were going to score from that. Brillinger with a free kick, though. Putting his just wide. I was about to literally jump up in celebration there. I don't know if I've made the wrong decision here or the right decision. Maybe this is we've won a penalty, which is nothing to do with tactics. Now, who's going to take it? Who is going to take this penalty? Penalties. I mean, Bizu is technically the best at penalties here, but he's not got a good history of penalties. But he is the best. Let's do it then. Bizu's going to take the penalty. I mean, this has got nothing to do with tactics, this right now. This is complete luck that we've been given a penalty against Arsenal, and we're trusting Bizu. Is this really sensible, Tom? It was sensible. He puts it in the back of the net. Beautiful stuff. Let's go back to defensive. We can't really change formation now because we've made all our subs, so we can't bring any more defenders on. We haven't got players to do that. We could actually, thinking about it, move these guys back to being wing backs. That could help a little bit out maybe, but they don't like playing as wing backs at all. They hate it, in fact, so that could be detrimental. Arsenal, yeah, thank you. Don't score a goal there. I got very concerned. As long as we just see the game out now, that's 3 points on the board. Actually, we're only 2 points behind Arsenal as things stand, so we could sneak into 6th place as Pomeroy's picked up a knock. I mean, there's nothing we can do about that now. We've made all our substitutes, so we're playing with 10 men to finish things off. But it does move us within 2 points of Arsenal. If they start to slip up now, we could actually go into 6th position. So that door's not been closed yet, which is actually quite exciting. So we could be 6th come the end of the season. But right now, we're fighting for 7th. We are more than 6 points away from Aston Villa, who've got 2 games in hand on us. So we will stay ahead of Villa if they win their next 2 games in hand, obviously, as well. This has been a very, very good episode. A very good episode, I think, in terms of a league and things like that. So that is really exciting, but there is still one more hurdle to overcome, and that hurdle is Aston Villa themselves, because next episode we are going to the last 2 games of a season where one of them is against Aston Villa, which is massive. And in the meantime, we've got 1st place Chelsea and 3rd place United we've got to get past as well. So this Villa game really could decide everything, which is terrifying, as Pomeroy is out for maybe the rest of the season, actually, which is a great shame. But Bizu's got his 5th goal of the season now. Perhaps now in the final run of games, he becomes the man to score the goals for us. But that is that for today's episode. I will see you next time for the final episode of this season, where hopefully we'll overcome last season's just traumatic end to the season and finish 7th and get Europa League football. That is what we're hoping for. So until then, have a good one. Goodbye.